Page 11. We're now at the usage of the previous entry according to. Don't say according to me. If you want to say what your opinion is, you can say in my opinion. In my opinion, all children should learn to swim. The next entry, accordion, accordion, accordions, countable noun. An accordion is a musical instrument in the shape of a fairly large box which you hold in your hands. You play the accordion by pressing keys or buttons on either side while moving the two sides together and apart. Accordions are used especially to play traditional popular music. The next entry, accost, 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 or in America, accosted. Verb, if someone accosts another person, especially a stranger, to stop them or go up to them and speak to them in a way that seems rude or threatening. Formal disapproval. A man had accosted me in the street. A man had accosted me in the street. The next entry, accountant, accountant. Where does the L come from? Is it an error? Account. Account. Accounts, accounting, accounted. The first meaning of account, countable noun. If you have an account with a bank or a similar organization, you have an arrangement to leave your money there and take some out when you need it. Some banks make it difficult to open an account. I had 2 accounts with the bank, a savings account and a current account. The second meaning, in business, a regular customer of a company can be referred to as an account, especially when the customer is another company. Business. The Glasgow-based marketing agency has won 2 Edinburgh accounts. The third meaning, accounts are detailed records of all the money that a person or business receives and spends. Business. He kept detailed accounts. An account book. The fourth meaning, countable noun. An account is a written or spoken report of something that has happened. He gave a detailed account of what happened on the fateful night. Fateful night. The fifth meaning, see also accounting, bank account, current account, deposit account. The sixth meaning, phrase, if you say that something is true by all accounts or from all accounts, you believe it is true because other people say so. He is, by all accounts, a superb teacher. The seventh meaning, phrase, if you say that someone gave a good account of themselves in a particular situation, you mean that they performed well, although they may not have been completely successful. The team fought hard and gave a good account of themselves. The team fought hard and gave a good account of themselves. The eighth meaning, phrase, if you say that something is of no account or of little account, you mean that it is very unimportant and is not worth considering. Formal. These obscure groups were of little account in national politics. It's very unimportant. These obscure groups were of little account in national politics. The ninth meaning, phrase, if you buy or pay for something on account, You pay nothing or only part of the cost at first, and pay the rest later. The cards are issued to employees so they can purchase fuel on account. The 10th meaning, use on account of to introduce a reason or explanation for something. The president declined to deliver the speech himself on account of a sore throat. The 11th meaning, phrase, your feelings on someone's account are the feelings you have about what they have experienced or might experience, especially when you imagine yourself to be in their situation. Molly told me what she'd done, and I was really scared on her account. On his account. I was really scared on her account. The 12th meaning, phrase, if you tell someone not to do something on your account, you mean they should not do it only you mean that they should do it only if they want to and not because they think it will please you. Spoken, don't leave on my account. Just stay there if you want to. Don't do it on my account. The 13th meaning, phrase, if you say that something should on no account be done, you're emphasizing that it should not be done under any circumstances. Emphasis, on no account should the mixture boil. It will never boil. The 14th sense, phrase, if you do something on your own account, you do it because you want to and without being asked, and you take responsibility for your own action. I told him if he withdrew it was on his own account. The 15th sense, phrase, if you take something into account or take account of something, you consider it when you are thinking about a situation or deciding what to do. The defendant asked for 21 similar offenses to be taken into account. Urban planners in practice have to take account of many interest groups in society. 16th sense, phrase, if someone is called, held, or brought to account for something they have done wrong, they were made to explain why they did it and are often criticized or punished for it. Ministers should be called to account for their actions. Account for, phrasal verb. If a particular thing accounts for a part of proportion of something, that part or proportion consists of that thing or is used or produced by it. Computers accounts for 5% of the country's commercial electricity consumption. The second meaning of account for as a phrasal verb. If something accounts for a particular fact or a situation, it causes or explains it. Now, the gene they discovered today doesn't account for all of those cases. The third meaning, if you can account for something, you can explain it or give the necessary information about it. How do you account for the company's alarmingly high staff turnover? He said only 200 of the train's 600 passengers had been accounted for. The fourth meaning, if someone has to account for an action or policy, they are responsible for it and may be required to explain it to other people or be punished if it fails. The president and the president alone must account for his government's reforms. The fifth meaning, if a sum of money is accounted for in a budget, it has been included in that budget for a particular purpose. The really heavy redundancy costs have been accounted for. Collocations account, noun plus account, deposit, savings, adjective plus account, current, joint, offshore, verb plus account, open, close, noun plus account, eyewitness, adjective plus account, detailed, first-hand, full, verb plus account, give, provide, synonyms, account, noun, description, Police have issued a description of the man, who was aged between 50 and 60. Report. With a report on these developments, here's Jim Fish in Belgrade. Record. There's no record of any marriage or children. Story. The parents all shared interesting stories about their children. Version. There are widely differing versions in the newspaper about the prison siege. S-I-E-G-E. With a siege. Military or police operation with soldiers or police around the place in order to force the people there to come out or give up control of the place. Siege. To lift the siege. To lift the siege? What does it mean? They're hopeful of bringing the siege to a peaceful conclusion. To lift. What does it mean to lift the siege? To end the siege. The king lifted the siege 2 months later. Okay. Siege. So where we're at. There are widely differing versions in the newspaper about the prison siege. The next entry, accountable. A-C-C-O-U-N-T-A-B-L-E. Adjective. If you're accountable to someone for something that you do, you're responsible for it and must be prepared to justify your actions to that person. Public officials can finally be held accountable for their actions. Accountability. Uncountable noun. And impetus towards democracy and greater accountability. Impetus. Impetus. Something that gives a process impetus, or an impetus makes it happen or progress more quickly. To give a process impetus. Give renewed impetus to the economic. Like what? To accelerate it. Give it impetus. Make it faster. Impetus. And impetus towards democracy and greater accountability. So we will achieve democracy and greater accountability very soon. The next entry, accountancy. A-C-C-O-U-N-T-A-N-C-Y. Accountancy. Uncountable noun. Accountancy is the theory or practice of keeping financial accounts. The next entry, accountant. A-C-C-O-U-N-T-A-N-T. Accountant. Countable noun. An accountant is the person whose job is to keep financial accounts. The next entry, accounting. The first meaning, an accountable noun. Accounting is the activity of keeping detailed records of the amounts of money a business or person receives and spends. The accounting firm of Leventhal and Horwath. The second meaning, see also account. The next entry, accoutrement. Accoutrement. A-C-C-O-U-T-R-E-M-E-N-T. Accoutrement. Accoutrements. In America, also use accoutrement. It used T-E-R instead of T-R-E. Countable noun. Accoutrement Accoutrements are all the things you have with you when you travel or when you take part in a particular activity. Humorous or old-fashioned. It's like your luggage, all the things you have with you when you travel or when you take part in a particular activity. Humorous or old-fashioned. The next entry, accredit. Accredit. Accredits, accrediting, accredited. accredit, verb. If an educational qualification or institution is accredited, it is officially declared to be of an approved standard. Formal. This degree program is fully accredited by the Institution of Electrical Engineers. An accredited college of Brunel University. Accreditation, uncountable noun. This is the body responsible for the accreditation of MBA courses. This is the end of page 11.